Hi, I'm Suzi LeVine, Commissioner for the Washington State Employment Security Department. Before COVID-19 struck, 1.8 million Washingtonians were living in poverty. That's about 25% of our population. The pandemic has now put many more families underwater financially, and it's also further deepened existing inequities in our society with disproportionate harm to communities of color and to families already living in poverty. Now, more than ever, we need a plan for inclusive economic recovery to help people reach escape velocity, to move up and out of poverty permanently. We need a plan that considers our country's history of colonialism, oppression, and racism, and how the ripple effects of those still impact families across Washington today. We need a plan of action. That's why I am so heartened to see the 10-year plan to reduce poverty and inequality come to fruition. Many stakeholders, service providers, and agencies worked together over a very long period of time to create this plan. Most notably, the steering committee included people with lived experiences, people experiencing poverty themselves right now. The plan takes their input and guidance very much to heart. At the Employment Security Department, the nature of our work brings us face to face with people living in poverty. When people come to us looking for work or unemployment benefits, we can assist their needs and help them with more support. We can also assess their situations. We're on the front lines, positioned to clearly see when people need not only a job, but access to education, healthcare, training, and opportunities for building wealth. We support and empower our partners to do the same. For example, we recently won new federal grant funding totaling about $24 million for the state's 12 workforce development councils, the State Workforce Training and Education Coordinating Board, and the Employment Security Department. We're deploying those funds as a coordinated team, collectively targeting Washington's economic recovery. The grants aim to employ people immediately whenever possible, train people for jobs of the future when immediate employment is not available, and help people not only get a job, but also earn a family-sustaining wage. Currently, over 150 people statewide who are unemployed as a result of the COVID crisis are being served by these specific grants. Here's an example, or a couple. The Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council, which covers Grays Harbor, Lewis, Mason, Pacific, and Thurston counties, is helping families who face intersecting hardships from COVID, unemployment, and other barriers to success. Pac Mountain is using the grant to provide food security for these families, plus job training and other support services. They also have chosen to use grant funds to teach 60 people how to grow, harvest, preserve, and prepare food while they get help looking for temporary and permanent jobs. As the Employment Security Department does its part to carry out the poverty reduction plan, we plan to continue to harness the power of our local partnerships. Our coordinated efforts enable us to help Washingtonians holistically, even when the services they need come from different agencies and providers. Our goal is to support change within a community for that community. The pandemic has made clear what many people have known for a long time. Poverty can be closer than you think. Circumstances outside of your control can push you into poverty no matter how hard you work. For some, feelings of fear, frustration, and helplessness that the pandemic has brought on are new. But for too many others, those feelings are all too familiar. Together, we can help our fellow Washingtonians, our neighbors, our friends, our family members, and our coworkers. Coming out of the Great Recession 2008-2009, we had a recovery, but it disproportionately helped those at the top. Coming out of the COVID crisis, we have an opportunity to make sure we have a more inclusive and equitable recovery. I encourage you to support the plan today and in the future as well as we work toward a thriving and fully inclusive Washington economy. Thank you so much. Stay safe and wear your mask.